So I know normally on our podcast and on our platforms, we normally, obviously, it's Brotherhood of Fathers. We talk about black dads' lives and black dads and lives from our perspectives as well. But someone actually passed away recently who's very close to me. Mine's Susan. One of my best friends, Rigel. It's her mum. And honestly, when I tell you that somebody who's taking you through life, yeah, letting you understand things and helping you to understand things and make sense of this world that we live in, yeah. And Michelle didn't have her dad around. It was just her mum. Her mum was her mum and dad. And I've got a pet hate about when people say this about, oh, I don't need a dad, or yeah, my mum is my mum and dad. And I'm like, nah, because a dad brings something. But you know what? Out of all the women I've known, yeah, Susan was one seriously she was both, man. She was special. She was superwoman. So I just got to, from the bottom of my heart, just dedicate this episode because there's not really much that I can give to her, to Rigel, to Malachi. But you know what? On for me, for this, like this is my platform in it, which I can say something on. And yeah, I just wanted to just basically just to dedicate an episode or dedicate something to the woman that's guided me and that's helped me be so successful in life. Do you know what I mean? So R.I.P. Auntie Susan and Rochelle and Malachi, you know, love you both, and I'm always going to be here for life, for life.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I was thinking your hearts are sick. Yo, these boys have stepped it up.
Yo, yeah.
Who did that? Was that me?
What, doing that?
What? Because I said love.
Whatever. No,
Wait, do you have to do it a certain way or something?
don't
I
know,
don't
but
know.
yo,
Bruh.
love.
And then I just got love hearts. That was
I thought you did it.
crazy. That was Auntie Susan, you know. That was
Yo, that
crazy.
was nuts, that.
That's mad. That's a mazzy, you know. I thought one of you
Yeah, I
was
know.
trying to tell me
Nah,
that. That's weird. That's
right.
mad. Oh my.
I thought Anton's got like a
Fine.
premium subscription or something.
I have. We have no wrong one out now, but that's not what that is. I didn't realize that was that. What I'm saying. What I'm saying.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us again. We're trying to grow the audience and the podcast. We've come a long way, but we want to go even further. So yeah, that's right. So if you want to comment, like, and subscribe, share it. Tell your friend, tell your family about it. All the new fathers, let them know about it. And also, if you want to get involved, if there's a certain subject that you want to speak on, or if there's something a topic that we've already covered that you actually want to shed new light on, then drop us a message and then we can get you involved as well. So join the journey.
Yes, Arlo, join the journey.
Well said.
Yeah, and because so many people keep coming up to me and saying, "Oh, when can I come on the pod? Oh, I want to come on the pod. Oh, I want to be on the episode." Literally, just slide into the DMs on Instagram, innit, and then just put your name down, and then we know that you want to come on, and then we'll just get in touch with you because we're online now, so it's a lot more easier. So we can just let you join us from the comfort of your own home. How are you guys doing then?
Good.
Yeah. All good, all good. It's been a while.
What was that, D?
But it's been a while.
It's been a
It's
while.
been wild.
It's been
A while.
while.
Oh, it's been a while. Do you know what? I thought you was just about to go into some story. I was going to say, what's been going on in your house?
A lot has been going on.
Well, I think the first place we're going to go to, which is important, is financial literacy. So teaching children about money in today's economy. So I'm not sure whether or what stage you guys are at because you're a bit further back from me. But this is very prominent now in my life with the ages of my kids. So with Tyler being about to turn 14 and Layla 11, 12 this year, these kids are just about money. Do you know what I mean? And honestly, if you don't start teaching them the value of it and how much things actually cost and what happens in life, they've not got a clue and they don't understand things. And I'm not going to pretend I'm not nowhere near as good as what Carlos is with his money.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Carlos, you should be
Yeah,
good
yeah,
with money. What's
yeah.
your job?
But yeah, treasury accountant. So
Huh?
I deal with cash flow for my companies. But yeah, so I'm all right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're
no,
not good with
no.
cash flow, even though you
Yeah,
deal
no.
with cash flow every day.
Yeah, no. I am good with it, but you know, not trying to brag or anything. But yeah,
Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Whereas from back in the day, I did stupid things where you look back now and you think, oh, do you know what? If I'd have been saving from back in the day, I'll be rich now, you know. Or if I'd have invested certain money in myself or in certain items back in the day, my outlook will be a completely different. And even just what's driving them to do certain career aspects or what they want to do in life. Like for instance, as a family, bigger family, we're going Florida this year. Ryan and Arlo's coming as well. Going with all the siblings and that, and mum and dad, because it's big birthdays for them. But what my kids need to understand is all these different things what they're going to be getting, the build up to going to Florida, actually going to Florida as well, is that it's an expensive holiday, and they want to be doing things like this when they get older. And do you know what I mean? Going for days out, going shopping, not thinking about what you're buying, being able to treat yourself as and when you want to, things like this. And then I'll speak to Layla, and then you talk about, well, what do you want to do for a living? And Layla's like, oh, I don't know. I might just be at home. Well, no. What do you mean you might be at home? How does that work? Because if you're at home, how are you going to afford anything then? Do you know what I mean? And I know she's not got that mentality from us because me and Laura both work. My grandparents work. Everyone she knows works. Do you know what I mean? But then some of her friends at school and their mums, they don't work. So they've got a benefits Britain mentality, which I've had to say to Layla, we don't live like that. Do you know what I mean? So you can live like that, but then what you get and your means is very limited. Like Tyler's just been to Barcelona on a school trip, which you had to pay for, and I said he wouldn't have got that. Like you couldn't afford to send him there, send him with spending money, let him get his clothes if we wasn't working hard in order to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? So now when we go out, they get certain money every month, and then we'll go out shopping because we used to go Sainsbury's or wherever, other shops available, and we'll just go in there and she'll just be picking up stuff off the shelf and putting it into the trolley willy nilly, and we didn't really think anything of it. Do you know what I mean? These spoiled ass kids, and we'll just buy it, and then it's only at the end when they say, well, saying like, "Oh, can I have this?" And you think, "Whoa, do you know how much money I've already spent on you this month?" And they're like, "Well, that's standard." No, none of that's standard. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
but
you got treated.
Jason, do you think you contributed to that then by allowing them to pick stuff up and put it in the trolley and pay for it?
Yeah, standard. That's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
back when I know that I contributed to it because that
Yeah.
was my mistake. So then that's when I had to sort of separate and I'd start saying, no, well, guys, look, okay, then if
Was
that's
that
how you see it,
when they were younger?
yeah. When I was
Yeah.
a bit younger,
Learning
and
yourself.
sorry,
So you kind of learning yourself, though, innit, as well. But
yeah, and I suppose I was a younger dad as well. So my finances, I wasn't really good with my finances. So obviously, that's just the way that we ran things. You know what I mean?
mm,
Whereas now we're a lot more savvy and we're more comfortable. But we would say to the kids, right? Well, here's your money. Then you got this money for the month. Spend it on what you want. But then once it's gone,
yeah,
it's
gone.
gone. Do you know what I mean? And then she'll budget, like even later, she'll budget for certain things. She knows we're going to Florida and she knows she's going to want to buy up some other beauty products. So she's like, I'm not buying any more beauty products until we go to
never.
Florida.
Yeah, okay.
Makes sense. Because you got money, but you don't need to blow it all straight away like what you normally would. Do you know what I mean? So save it. Then when you go Florida and you're seeing different things that you can't get it at home, you can buy them and you're going to be comfortable with it. And I've already told her, don't be looking at me to buy anything because I got all I'm bringing is spending money. Yeah, I ain't bringing shopping money. Do you know what I mean? My spending money don't need to go on beauty products, you know. So I made that very clear. Anyway, sorry, that's just my opinion. Sorry to rant, but I just had to just get that out.
You know, just to come in, because when you was mentioning, you know, about what she wants to do as a job,
Yeah.
do you think the sort of social media and the sort of new generation of it's I think it's good in a way that people are getting creative and making money, but at the same time, I think it's very dangerous that that some kids could just be unambitious just
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
been an easy route. Do you know what I mean? And they're thinking, right, well, all I need to do is get a following and then I'll just get paid to make videos on TikTok.
I'm an influencer.
That's not even just kids.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Yeah.
That's what adults who want to
That's
do
it.
that as well.
Yeah, it's coming like that, like the norm. So it just made me think that when Layla was saying that, for actually, it might be harder now. You know, like careers advice, like when you're speaking to kids, are like, what do you want to get into? Because when we was younger, it's like you couldn't say, like I couldn't turn around and say, yeah, I think I just want to just be a gamer on YouTube,
Yeah.
or it's like
Yeah, yeah. You could say that, could you?
I mean, even as a kid, you had it in your head that I'm gonna have to go out and do something progressive I need to go get skills or get a job or you know go out there and earn something, not just sit here and try and do you know what I mean? Do the bare minimum, cut a corner. I mean, like Dee said, some people are like that anyway.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? But I just thought it'd be a challenge.
Nah, I think it is, but because she'll watch all them like she's not got TikTok herself, but she'll go on Laura's TikTok. Do you know what I mean? Laura's created one for her, and she'll look at all hair stuff and things like this. And one of the things that she said she would actually do is become a hairdresser. But then mine and Laura's then we're like, oh, so what? Like you want to own your own hair salon? Like what? You want to do celebrity hair? Like you want to be a big like? And then she'll be like, no, I just want to work in a hairdresser's. And you're like, oh, well, if you're limiting yourself like that, then fair enough, you'll be happy if you're happy, but you won't be able to live at the same life what you're living now and what you do not everything that you're accustomed to because you wouldn't earn enough. And then she'd be looking at me strange, like, what? Do you know what I mean? And it's like that, yeah, really. So you need to think about what you want to do in life. Do you know what I mean? Tyler, he's just turning 14 now, and all Tyler wants to do is act. Tyler wants to do musical theatre. Now, for me, he's in the top set in every single subject. So I'm like, so what's your backup? And Tyler looks at me like I'm daft. Like, what do you mean? What's my backup? Have you not seen me perform? And because he's really good, it's hard for me. I can't say, well, you might not make it because you're wanting to give him that 100% confidence. But in the same breath, what I've had to say to him is, if I had your intelligence, I would love it. But I don't have your intelligence. Do you know what I mean? And I've never had it. Right? I've never had it. So for me, as much as he's got that talent, he needs to have something to back it up as well. And I don't be bothered if he doesn't know what he wants to do, as long as he's happy and he gets his qualifications in. Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I don't think qualifications is everything because I ain't having it and I'm successful. But because he's capable of getting them, I think that's why I'm more wanting to push him.
Yeah, I don't think qualifications necessarily are
Because
the main thing. Like I got qualified thinking, yeah, I'm going to get qualified and be able to get so much money and do all of this, do all of that. It's not really the qualification. It's the understanding of what you're doing. I feel that will set you up because I can't say I know I didn't know what I wanted to do at 16 when I was finishing school. So I just went to university because I thought I can go on, can study some more, get some qualifications, and kind of find where I want to fit in and what I want to do. So I'm just, and now I've found my way into working in accounting, which I enjoy because for me, it's just got to be something I understand. And spending time doing something, I get to grips with it and understand it. And from there, decide what you want to do. So, like with Remy, I won't say I'm going to be pushing him. I'm going to be asking him the question, what do you want to do? And watch him so that I can understand what he likes to do and say, well, you can look at doing this. But I feel like with the world that we play and social media and all of that, I feel like you have to have both a career and something to supplement your career. That is probably polar opposite or could be linked to what you're doing, so that you've got another way, another thing to fall back on, not just one source of income from paid employment, which is good if you're getting enough money, but you've got to have the right balance between that and life in itself. So I'm not steering Remy towards anything in particular, but I'm just going to see what he likes and go from there, really. Yeah. Yeah, I understand passive income is a big thing because I do listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff that talk about finance and money because, boy, obviously everyone wants to make some more money in it to make everyone a bit more comfortable. So, yeah, passive income is a good thing to try and get into. I mean,
Definitely.
Jay will be able to shed some light on that because
Yo, I was gonna say, Carlos. For me, I just want to be like Papi Idris.
yeah,
Jeez, look at him. Looks
money,
like money. That's
It looks like it just looks
money,
like money,
money,
innit?
money, money, money.
The chin.
You guys are full of shit, man.
with that soft focus filter on. Jeez.
Oh,
We're literally just talking about financial literacy.
Yeah.
so shed some light on it, Jay, from your perspective.
Yeah, because when I was asking Carlos if he's good with money and cash flow, Carlos looked at me blank and was like, "No, why would I be?" And I was like, "Cause of your fucking job."
I didn't say no. Come on. Said yeah, I'm all right with it. Humble brag. But yeah,
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think
Sorry. Do you know what? As well, Jace, just to because I feel like I've just thrown you a bit under the bus there. What we were talking about was financial literacy and the importance of teaching it to the kids in it, so
yeah,
for their future. So it was coming from that sort of angle.
yeah, no. Obviously, it's important, isn't it? But I think it's one of those things that it's. I don't know. I feel like it's not taught enough in schools, and I think what you know and what you do are two very different things. Like in terms of, I know what I'm meant to do with my money, but there's also external constraints as to you know what I mean. Like for example,
Mm,
the interest rates on the mortgage, I've got no control over that.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And they can go up at any point, and my salary doesn't go up, so
yeah,
I'm screwed in it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I can have all the financial literacy in the world, and I know to make the right decisions, but the external influences can have a massive effect on it.
mm,
So, like for example, when me and Rebecca first moved out, our mortgage was £600 a month. It's now £1,500 a month. Do you know what I mean? Like our electricity bill was £70 a month. It's now £230 a month. You know, and these are things that I've got absolutely no control of. On top of that, I've got two kids now as well. Their nursery fees, you know, £400 each a month. You know, so it's where's all this extra money meant to come from? Do you know what I mean? So it's
mm,
like, yeah, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but these external factors really do play a massive part. So then, what are you meant to do? Like, how do you survive? And that's when I feel like people like get into like a bit of a spiral, start making bad decisions, spend on the credit cards,
All the
take out high
student loans
interest
and that.
loans and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a weird one, isn't it? It's a weird one
mm,
because you don't have control over a lot of it, but you're expected to. It's like, for example, when I was living at home and I had no children, no mortgage, no bills, but I was saving like 80% of my salary each month. Do you know what I mean?
See, that's big, you know. I wish I'd done that at some point. I
It
never
don't,
did that.
well, it doesn't matter, bro, because it's gone. That's gone now, so it doesn't matter. But the point is that, like, yeah, it's the external factors, man, and I feel like that's really the issue. That's the hard part of trying to be financially secure, financially stable is the external factors. But it's impossible, really, because I work for the NHS and like my salary goes up with inflation, but my cost of living don't go up with inflation at all. So it's a bit of a crazy one still. But yeah, man, the only thing we can do is just obviously just teach our children the best and what it is. But then again, I think I've got a very different approach to things like debt. I'll be honest with you. Like I've got a millionaires entrepreneurs approach to debt, which is it's not all bad. So maybe I'm not the person to
No,
be talking on this.
that's good though. Like, because I've heard, like, one of my managers that said to me, like, you could get a loan. If you can get a bank loan, for example, not promoting getting bank loan to people, but as an example, he said, if you get a bank loan and let's say you've got to repay whatever you borrow at a rate of 4% and then inflation goes up by 7% as an example, then what you've got is extra money for yourself and it's below the rate of inflation. So you're laughing, really. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think of it from that perspective. So not all debt, like Jason just said, is bad. It can be good, but it's being able to control your use of what you've borrowed and making sure it is repaid on time. So you're not going to like incur any penalties or.
Yeah, it's true. It's like when I spend a lot of my time on the internet dreaming, right? You know them ones where them interviews where like, they approach millionaires in like Ferraris and stuff, and they're like, "What's your number one piece?" And then never use your own money, use the bank's money. It's like, what does that mean? For example, here's an example for me. Yeah, when I was 24, 25, I bought an Audi A3. Yeah, 17,000 paid for it cash. And I was like, yeah, I own the car. I'm the man. Like, there's no finance on it. I'm sick. I remember I speaking to my older brother about it, and he's like, that is the stupidest thing you could have done. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, why would you have so much of your own money tied up in an asset which depreciates?
Mm.
It don't make any sense. He goes, what you should have done is, or what you could have done is use it as a deposit on a house, get the rental income to pay for the car. Like, and it's just things like that, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like those little tips that I think that we're obviously not taught or privy to. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I think there's got to be a balance to it. Like all these tricks, right, are used by successful people, but we're not taught them. Like, and I think that's another part. I think that's another part of financial literacy. Like, obviously, everyone's situation is not the same, but yeah, obviously, if you've got 20 grand in cash, obviously the dumbest thing you can do is buy a car which you're going to sell 5 years later for half the price.
Yeah.
If he didn't do
Yeah,
that,
that was a bad move, that Joe. Sorry, D, go on.
I said if he didn't do that though, you wouldn't have
Yeah.
never learnt that lesson. No,
Yeah, true.
But
But the money,
then in the same breath,
it's
if
like
he would have spoke to his brother would have taught him the lesson without him paying for it.
Probably learned the same lesson.
you close to your brother like that.
yeah. But
Right now,
I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like it was one of them ones where, like, I don't know. Like, you can see people out. You know what? You don't even own the car. You just lease it. Them kind of people, and them conversations there. And when you're young and you're about to buy a new car, you're thinking, yeah, you're meant to own it. Like, you've got to own it, man. No
And I've got the
finance, no
cash. I've got the
finance.
money.
Yeah. I've got the bags there, man. Like, yeah. I thought I was a big boy going into the dealership and putting 17 grand on my debit card, thinking, oh, I'm sick, bro. Literally, I bought it on the Saturday. On the Saturday afternoon, my brother told me, like, that is the stupidest thing you could have done.
but did
I
he
think.
know that much amount of cash?
Pardon?
Did he know that you had that amount of cash?
No, he didn't know I had that amount of cash. No.
People.
'Cause what was meant to be D is, just pull up at the yard in a brand new whip. Oh shit, who's this? You're like,
We don't,
oh.
we don't talk finances in black households.
Pardon?
I said we don't talk finances in black households, which
No,
is
we don't.
so anyone that you know could be struggling with debt and you ain't got a clue
Mm.
because they're talking about it, innit?
That's the truth. That's the truth. I think you're right there. I think no one talks about it in black. I think there's like the stigma attached to it.
Yeah.
Like it's your ego, your pride, and then also I feel like the other part of it is when people do talk about money, it's he's pocket watching. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's also a negative thing. But I think you're right. I
Yeah,
think you
should be
are
more
right.
open conversations. You're right.
Yeah, 'cause I think obviously in other cultures, like money's not secret. You know what I mean? Like you can say to somebody like, how much you doing with your money? What are you doing with your money? What are you doing with this? What are you doing with that? How much is this? You know what I mean? And it's an open and honest conversation. It's like I remember it was I was speaking to Carlos really a few years ago, and I remember he was telling me about his new job, right? And I remember Carlos just told me what his salary was, and I was like, what? Why? You're just so open with it, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it was weird. It was weird. Do you know what I mean? Because like you don't talk about things like that. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't ask somebody like how much do you earn, or you don't tell somebody how much do you earn. It's a massive secrecy around it, innit? It's crazy. Why is it like that?
But do you know what? It's mad because I had that I worked in a place for like 16 years. I don't know if I can mention the place because I'm not really slagging them off. But they had a culture where everyone was on different salaries. So in
Yeah.
work,
In
you
work,
can't talk about your salary. And then when you do, yeah, you're putting yourself in danger. Because like for me, I was on a big salary compared to everyone else that was a similar age or doing a
yeah.
similar job to what I was doing. So when I got pulled in for my pay rise because I was doing extra work and they appreciated what I was doing, they sort of said to me, but you need to keep it to
Confidential.
yourself
Yeah.
because as soon as yeah, and then you'll just keep getting them. But as soon as you open your mouth and it goes round, because we can't give everyone the same pay rise, then
Yeah. And I
you know
get
what I
it in
mean.
work.
So it was
I get
playing
it
the
in
game.
work.
So yeah, so then I had to sort of play the game if you like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
But then
agree.
I've never felt any way about telling you guys though. So like if you guys was to ask me a question and say, oh, how much you on or
Yeah.
do you know what I mean, etc. For me, I would always be open with that. Or if if I was struggling with something, I'll definitely get onto you. Like even for my
Yeah.
business, when I was struggling doing my
Yeah.
accounts, and I was like, don't know what's going on here. I reached out straight away to Carlos. It didn't help, but I reached out to him.
I tried.
He said, "Speak to
Yeah.
Jason. He's better than me."
Point you in the right direction. That's all I'm about.
Cheers, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But no, you're right. I think that's where my mentality has come from because I think when I was working at a company, it was the exact same thing, and I managed to negotiate a massive salary when I joined, compared to people who've been there for years were on, and it was the same thing. Keep it to yourself. Don't tell nobody what you're on. Like, if people find out what you're on, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's unfair. I need a pay rise." Obviously, we can't afford to give everyone else a pay rise. So I was like, right, cool. But then that mentality extended into my personal life. I mean, really, I'm past the point. I don't give a shit if people know what I make or what I don't make. It don't really matter. At the end of the day, my mortgage is paid. The lights are on. Like, the girls are clothed. Um, what more is there to life? Yeah, would I like a bit more breathing room some months? Absolutely, but I think the essentials are covered, and we're not struggling. Like, so it don't really matter what I make, does it? Do you know what I mean? I think people. The biggest issue is that we compare
Yeah.
ourselves to others.
And you
That
don't know
is
what other people are going through, you know. So
that
on the
is
outside, you know when you see these guys and they got these real nice cars, and you think, rah, like how you doing that at that young age? And then you see that they then either living with the mum or you go back to the house and they got some sick outfit when they go out on a Friday night, but then they'll go back and you'll be like, yeah, but have you seen the bedroom? Have you seen the house that they live in? Like, yeah, that's mad. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes people just prioritize the wrong thing anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. I think I think it's in black culture. I feel like sometimes a lot of the things that we prioritize are just to boast in it. If we're honest, what do you say,
What's that,
D?
D?
So the materialistic it is.
Yeah, but yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
100%.
I think I've seen a meme years ago in it where it's like a guy gets dressed up to impress another guy. Your Balenciagas, you've got opposite other brands are available, and it's like a man will see it, be like, "Yo, I want to be like you, bro." You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
it's crazy, bro.
It is mad. When you think about it like that, it is mad, isn't it? Like, why am I going to spend big money on a t-shirt to a compliment from Carlos?
But you did it though. But you did it though.
That is crazy, innit? It's crazy. So I'm spending big money so my boys think I'm the man. It's mad. That is mad.
Yo, Jay, it was that same mentality that you had when you went and brought that car, thinking you're gonna pull up and everyone's
Yeah,
gonna go.
100%. Yeah. 100%. It's the exact same mentality that I had. I think I'm gonna drive this car and all these boys are gonna gas me up, or the man are gonna gas me up and think I'm sick. It's crazy. You look for validation in the wrong places, isn't it?
Mm.
And I think that just comes with with maturity, that you realize that you know all these things, all these flashy things, they're not important. Do you know what I mean? Like the material things in this world are just so unimportant. Like, and you hear it all your life, don't you? Hear it? Oh, well, you can't take it with you. You know what I mean? Like, money can't buy you happiness, and you think, yes, it can. But you know,
Nah, it helps though.
it
I hate when
definitely
people.
helps.
I hate when people say it doesn't, because it does. Like, if I was to if I won the lottery, the Euros, I'll be happy. You know, like, because people say that, like, oh no, money not buy you happiness. I'm like, no, I'm sure it would. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would. You buy me happiness.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I think
Yeah.
money would fix a lot of problems, you know.
Yeah.
If
a
we all
lot of
had £1 million
problems.
each, we would not be sad. We won't be sad. You know what I
A
mean?
lot of problems in it.
Bro, if I won the Euros on Friday, yeah, I would have said, "Oh, boys,
Yeah.
where are we filming today?
There.
Where are we flying out to?" Do you know what I mean? We'll fly out and go. Let's film an episode in Jamaica just for the fun of it. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you get influencers that like we touched on before that are doing things and like what I do a podcast to make money and to get rich. Nah, that's not what I do this for. We do this, and I feel like you can tell me whether I'm wrong or right because we don't get no money. We do this because it's like a therapy, man. It's clearing your chest, it's speaking, it's connecting with your brothers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Yeah. 100%.
do you know what I mean? So even if we were still rich, I'll still want to do this. Do you know what I mean? I'll be like, yeah, why not? But obviously, it will be a lot more slicker, and we'll be like flying out to wherever and doing it on set. You think I'm joking, innit? Yo.
No. I don't think you're joking, but you know what's jokes to me would be like, we're all doing flipping episodes in Jamaica with 500 followers, bro.
Yeah.
Say that again, D. Is that
Yeah,
gonna be rich?
facts in it, yeah,
Rich? You don't care, bro. You know what I mean?
What they
You
do?
think I care?
Oh, so
So Aaron
jokes,
asked
bro.
what changed our financial literacy. What would you say changed it for you guys?
I'll tell you
Growing
what.
up, man.
Back with this, it's not even that deep, but it is. So years ago, yeah, when I was younger, I was working. My grandma used to always say, "Oh, learn a trade, learn a trade." I'm just like, "Oh, whatever, grandma." Still not listened really. But I was a
Yeah.
lifeguard. I was only young, and Grand Theft Auto just came out. Let me tell you, we were belling me for shifts, and I was just rejecting them shifts, right? Yo, looked at that account, bro. I said, never again. Never have that feeling ever again. That was when I was about, what, 17, I think, 16, 17. Never again will I ever have that feeling. I chose gaming, right? Like, Aiming over money. That made no sense. That was
Yeah,
the
but
big.
that's 17, bro.
That was the biggest wake up call ever for me when it came to money. I was like, nah, never again. Again. Right.
Nah,
Nah, but I think on in that respect though, when you're living at when you're living at home, we still at home then, D. Yeah. So when you're living at home, you can afford to do them
and you're allowed to
stupid
do that.
things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the blessing of the parents that have afforded us this stability that we can afford to make these stupid mistakes and do these stupid things. Like I remember when for me, for example, it was like when a new Xbox game would come out, I was exactly the same, bro. Like you couldn't see me. I'd be calling in sick to work every single day, bro. Like regardless. And I remember when I worked when I was I've had a job since I was 16, yeah, and I used to work at John Lewis, and I remember when I first started working at John Lewis, I used to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Then I started working Monday, Wednesday, Sunday. Then I started working Wednesday, Sunday.
Dwindling.
Then I started working Sunday. Then I, then I started working 12/4 Sunday. I
What was the
remember.
point, bro?
I had a job in it. My parents couldn't say nothing to me. I had a job. Yeah. And I remember saying to me, my manager at the time was like, in the whole entire John Lewis, you actually have the least amount of hours of anybody who works here. And I was like, yeah, so I'm not increasing them. But yeah,
Then 4 hours a week's enough.
oh, bro, retail's a killer, bro. Retail's a killer, but I think I'll just expand on what Dee was saying. I think though, when you're at home, right, and you're at that point where you're making money, regardless of how much it is, right, it's pretty much all disposable. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't
Yeah.
really need it. Like you want it because it's teaching you the responsibility. You want a job because it's teaching you the responsibilities of getting up, going to work, working for something, and buying your own things. Not to ask your parents, yeah. But you don't really need much. You know what I mean? So you can afford to make those dumb mistakes. You can afford to learn as you grow. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what I've done. So for me, for example, obviously when my dad passed away, um, obviously things around my house got really, really, really difficult. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, like my mum's now the sole breadwinner. And obviously it was a very difficult time, and I think that's probably when I probably had to mature in terms of my financial literacy, and my spending habits because I was in uni at the time, bro. I was getting the maintenance loans, bro. Oh my gosh, when them maintenance loans used to bang, bro. I was in the club back, I was a baller, bro. Are you mad, bro? Oh my god. But that's the thing, though, isn't it? Right. So at that time when my dad passed. I had to grow up. I had to mature. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't these decisions that I was making, which were selfish. In when you look at the bigger picture, this money that I'm spending on in the nightclubs or on takeaways or doing foolish childish, boyish, laddish stuff. It needed to go towards helping mumsy out. So yeah, I had to really mature. Then, fortunately, for my mum, she started making a lot of money at her job, and I didn't have to
Lovely.
contribute for very long. But there was a period in it where
This guy.
No, but listen though, at that age, and obviously this goes to everyone else as well. Like when you dating, like, oh, mum, you got £10 or dad, have you got £10 in there? Because I couldn't, you know, what I'm
yeah, 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 yeah,
couldn't. My mum wanted to ask my dad to lecture.
Yeah,
What you need it for?
yeah, if that's what it was like,
Bro.
man.
You just wouldn't get it. And my mum was like, I ain't got it. Actually, I decided, I've got no child. So again, that probably helped me as well because I was kind of like, okay, then to the point where I didn't want to have to ask anyone for money, and even to this day, like I don't
Yeah.
ask anyone.
That, for me, it's
You know what
similar.
I'm saying?
Like, I was like,
Yeah.
well, I wanted a car. I just assumed back mum and dad was going to fund this whole purchase of the car and everything associated with the car. I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, you can get a car. Where's your money? And I was like, what do you mean? I thought I had to pass my test in it and you get me a car. So then from that point that I knew that like I'm going to need to earn some money so that I can get myself a car and then run this car because I did not know how much money was actually involved in running a car. So I think for me, that was when I learned like, look, you need to make sure you got the budget to get the car and you can cover anything that's involved. And that's when I was like, thinking back now, I should never have got a car when I got a car. Because I could have been laughing. I could have done so much more with all that money that I just burned through because cars were expensive. They're still expensive now, to be fair. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, but that's hindsight, innit? Like as I say, hindsight is 2020. Like think about it when you had
Yeah,
your little red Clio, bro. Like the
yeah,
the,
just freedom, really. Like freedom.
the freedom that you have at that
Yeah,
age is priceless. Do you know what I mean? It really is. You can go where you want, do where you want. Like it's priceless, bro. And those experiences that you get there, priceless. Yeah, you look back and you think, oh, I didn't make the smartest decision, but
You enjoyed life.
you enjoyed life, man. And that's what you're meant to do at 18, do you know what I mean? And let's be honest, like you are meant to do stupid, dumb things that you look back and you think, right, I need to learn from it. I need to learn from it. I need to learn from it. The problem comes when there's no learning and you continue to do dumb things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? As
Yeah.
long as there's learning there, right, and as long as your parents can afford you the house, like if you've got a roof over your head, right, and there's electricity and there's food and your basic needs are kept and your parents have been able to afford you that luxury because it is a luxury which not everyone gets, right? Then going out and making them stupid mistakes that you look back and you think, man, I shouldn't have done that. Is that me buying fucking thingy, buying special edition Halo like games? You know what I mean?
How much
Like
was that for?
I think the most I've ever spent on a Halo game must have been what, about £300. Yeah.
did you get the
This
green with
guy.
it as well?
and
The lights there.
and it came with the same disc as the £40 one.
Could you,
What you say?
could you afford it?
Yeah, I could afford it because I'm working. I've got no other
There you go.
like. That's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, but you look back now, and I look back now, and I always think about it. I always think, you know, looking back now, I wouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. But at the time, you know what I mean? Like I could afford it. There's nothing else really that I need to save my money for because I was fortunate that my mum had I had a house. All my basic needs are being met. Do you know what I mean? So these stupid things I could go and do, like buying new iPhones, buying new iPads. Technology was my thing. I love technology, right? And I could afford to do it. So that's why I used to indulge. And it's like you used to go out. Remember, you used to go out and buy new trainers at JD at the weekend, and you know what I mean, all them little things that you could do when you were younger that you wouldn't do now, or you'd probably second guess it. All those impulse buys you used to make when you were younger, bro. Like it's a great time to do some. It's a great time to be like, bro. Listen, I'd go back there right now if I could. Back to 16, no responsibilities, bro. Oh my gosh, I tell you what, I'll tell you, man, one thing for sure. I'd invest in Bitcoin.
Yes, standard. Yo, if I could go back, in hindsight, if I could go back, I'd invest in hella things. Do you know if you knew what was going on, what was going to happen, my investments. But you know what, mine. I'll quickly tell you mine. Mine was when I was older though. Mine wasn't even like when I had the luxury of being at home. I moved to Hull and I went and got my flat and it was a real nice flat, but I was by myself. Bro, I don't know why I got that expensive ass flat for one, because that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just stupid. Yeah, some brand new apartment that I was the first person in. Yeah, hella rent. Don't know why I did that, and everything was expensive. But yeah, and then I would do shit like I would go and buy extra clothes or go and buy myself things, yeah, instead of paying all my bills.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
dumb shit like that, and then
Them
and
dumb
it all
decisions
come
there.
catch up with me, and it was only when I got with Laura, and then she got pregnant, and then was like, oh, we need to start looking at a bigger place, and oh, let's look at money and maternity leave, and I was like, oh shit, and I
Yeah,
started looking at
yeah,
my
yeah.
finances, and I was like, right, I need to get rid of my debts, and then it was too late then because then I'm chasing my tail, but then I've sort of given myself a new standard of life that I'm trying to live, and I was like, yeah, you can't do both, so something had to give. So yeah, that was bad.
No, I'll be honest with you. Like, I think I'm the same as you. And I mean, listen, I'm full transparency. I still make dumb decisions today.
Oh
I
yeah,
still
of
make,
course we
you
do.
know what I
Of
mean?
course we
Like,
do.
I mean, I still make dumb decisions today, man. Like, and I try, and I try, and I try, and I try. But I still, I'm not perfect. I'm not, I'm far from perfect. You know, my finances are far from perfect, and I think it's just part of being human. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but it's having that mix of
realistically,
realistically living your life and also being happy as well. And there's certain
yeah,
things and knowing that and do you know what affects me? And I'm not sure if it's the same with you guys, but having deaths in the family or someone that's passed away that's closer to you, and then when that sort of happens, yeah, you sort of something flicks. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh well, life's not here. You're not here forever. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, well, I could not hold back and not do whatever what I do, and then
right.
never get the chance to do it. Do you know what I mean?
And that's okay. So Anton, I am exactly the same, bro. Right. So yesterday I got a call from one of my good friends' sister, telling him my boy passed away yesterday. Yeah, 37 years old.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Wait, no. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's
Mm,
heartbreaking, bro. It's heartbreaking. I'm not gonna go into their personal business too much, right? But to be able, I sat there last night at my mum's table and I thought the exact same thing. I'm thinking about life's too short. Like, no one knows when you're gonna go. Like,
mm,
do you know what I mean? Like, and it's that struggle with that balance, like, of trying to prepare for the future, but also like making sure that the kids are prepared for, but also knowing I'm not going to be here forever. And it's I need to enjoy myself when I'm here. You know what I mean? It's really really hard, man. It really 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 is. So but I think it's the one thing about life is it's a game that you can never win, right?
mm.
You just hope to do a little better each time.
Yeah, nah, yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. That's a perfect way to put it, and a perfect way to end the episode as well. You know.
Oh man.
Nah, it was a sick episode to be fair, because we covered off quite a few things in there, and at the beginning of the episode, because Jason was actually here, I dedicated this episode to Michelle's mum Susan, because she passed away recently.
Okay.
Sorry, I keep saying Michelle's mum, but Malachi, I know it's your mum too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Michelle and Malachi's mum Susan. So yeah, and obviously to your brethren as well, Jason. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Obviously, man. R.I.P. And even one of my school friends passed away not so long ago as well, Ebony. And it's like you hear about all this. Do you know what I mean? Horrible.
Taylor,
Sorry,
Ebony Taylor,
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, man. Yeah. Passed away. The big C got her, bro.
Oh shit, man.
That's what I mean. So it's just so sometimes you just yeah, it's just shit in it. You just gotta try and
Uncle, innit?
get through. Sorry.
I used to work with her uncle.
Oh, scene. Yeah.
Ebony man, flipping it. So
Mm.
I'm saying,
So life's short, man. So yeah, we need to live life. We need to live life. Just remember that we need to live it in it.
go live it, man. Go to the world, man. Trust me.
Trust me. That's why even if we was richer in the millions, yeah, we still got to do this, but we're doing it in sunny climates. You get me?
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, imagine that, bro. Like, listen, oh my gosh, bro. We've got a full production team with us.
Yeah. Taking up the full Boeing. Yo, you get me? On a full PJ. You know what I'm saying? So anyway.
Thanks, guys, for watching the pod. You know who it is. It's your boy, Papi Idris. All I can say is please like, comment, and subscribe to all our social media.